Sensational Sunday, everyone. My
Yes.
name is Furley Almonte, and welcome to Faces of Resilience. Wow, it has been already a few months, and I cannot be more grateful to actually keep receiving messages from all over, talking about how empowering this show is, that how inspiring, and also how people can learn so many different things on how to navigate their own trials in life through the many stories that we feature here. Today is absolutely going to be phenomenal because I have been blessed to have this woman as a friend. We've met about 7 years ago when she
Mhm.
has asked me to actually MC a fundraising fashion show called
Yeah.
Heal Your Soul. Actually, it's
Mhm.
kind of like a play with words. It's Heal, Heel, and the
Mhm.
soul is Sole, because it's actually a shoe fashion show, but it's all
Mhm.
about the soul.
Yeah.
So I love that cleverness. And I also got to meet amazing, resilient people from that platform. And a number of times, they also created some more life changing events to help people who are actually in the domestic violence space. Well, I'm talking about somebody who is actually an angel here on earth.
Mhm.
Her name is Theresa Johnston. Woohoo!
Hey, thank you.
Theresa, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's been so many years. I miss you, girl.
I
My
miss you too.
Oh my God. We actually met in Hackensack. Where
Mhm.
exactly did we meet? I'm trying to remember besides the fashion show.
How did we meet?
Oh, I think I know, from Judy Leggett or something like that. From Yeah,
Right. Through
but
someone else, but
yeah.
we're together.
It's so beautiful because this lady is the founder and owner of Never Alone Again Center for Victims of Domestic Violence
Mhm.
organization. Actually, when I met her, it was based in a center in Hackensack, but now they have moved in Teaneck. But I
Mhm.
have always been very intrigued because more often than not, we are driven to help people heal from what we are healing from, or what we've healed from. And
Yeah.
I'm very interested to know where this passion to help people of domestic violence came from.
Well, first of all, Furley, thank you so much for having me. This is wonderful what you're doing. Um, How Never Alone Again started from my own personal experience being a victim at the time of 25 years of my life. I was abused and I had nowhere to go. The services that we provide now, that wasn't available to me and my family at the time. And long story short, like I said, a victim of domestic violence for over 25 years, which almost ended my life with
Wow.
along with I had six grown adult kids now, not even kids, grown adults, men and women. And at the time, the services that was needed, like I said, it wasn't available at the time. And I tried to leave and I left. I went in the shelter, but unfortunately, I went back. And when I went back, that was almost ended my life.
Wow.
So with me surviving, I fought for my life, was in a hospital, and I made a vow to God that if I live and I survive, that I would make sure another woman not go through what I went through.
Was it
And
physical abuse, verbal
it
abuse?
was it was all the abuse. It was verbal, physical, sexual, mental, psychological, you name it, it has happened to me. And thank God I'm here. Thank God I have my right mind and everything. There are many that didn't survive. But like I said, my prayer, my wish was I survive. I promise that when I do get my life together, that I wanted to make a difference. And that's how Never Alone Again came about. I wanted to do something to give back. I wanted to do something to be a voice. I wanted to do something to let a woman, as well as a woman with children, know that they're not alone
That's
and never alone.
absolutely that's absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
You know, I know that there are so many people going through what you've been through.
Mhm.
And I actually admire you so very much for your strength and your fortitude in being
Mhm.
able to fight for all of these women. Now,
Yes.
so back then, how is it different back then in terms of support as
Mhm.
opposed to now?
I
Yours is
think
of course private, right? But consider, how do you compare the support that you were getting back then as to what you're getting now?
the awareness is more out there before, and many are suffering in silence, and many are afraid. And then, if you're not, let's put it this way, it seems like a lot of agencies and organizations are more educated about what domestic violence and abuse is. And people tend to be a little more empathetic about it,
Mhm.
and they are not as cold. And when you're not educated about something and you don't know about something, you're going to push it off to the next person. And that's what happened at that time. When now is more, how can I help? Where can I help? Where are the resources that we can get help? And those resources are available.
So, how did you find the courage back then to be able to escape your abuser?
Whew. You know what? It's when you had enough. Like I said, 20 some years of being abused and going back each time thinking I can fix it, fix him, fix me, make it better, doing everything I can to appease when basically I wasn't, it wasn't good. I had enough, and enough of being punched in the face, being shot at, being, abused in all, like I said, all ways. And just enough. Like
Was the
it's
abuse also including your children?
my children were abused more, they seen the abuse. They witnessed the verbal, and they never experienced it per se, like them hitting on them, but they just saw the verbal abuse. They were in that environment. So yes, they were affected by it, and growing up, seeing the abuse, and then hopefully not repeating the cycle and everything. And that's my prayer even now and everything. But unfortunately, the cycle does get repeated unless you get help. And with me, I sought help. I got help. I went for counseling. I got in support groups. I, of course, had to know what my worth is and love me. Know that I don't deserve to be
Now,
abused.
were you married to this man?
I was in 4 relationships. My first relationship was that I was married. Grew up with the person. I knew him since the third grade, and then high school, and then we got married and had 3 kids together, and that was through marriage. And then after that, getting into another relationship, and then another relationship, and another relationship, when basically not knowing my worth and accepting whatever, what accepting abuse like it was okay.
Very interesting what you said. With what you revealed, you were in 4 different relationships. And there
Hmm.
seemed to be a pattern.
Right.
Came a point in time you just wanted to break that pattern.
Hmm.
It took you obviously 25 years of mustering the courage to be able to do that. And
Hmm.
as I can see, like it's very admirable that you have basically turned your mess into your
Your
message
message.
now.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
and so has have created that.
Hmm.
So talk to me about Never Alone Again foundation organization. I'm not
That's okay.
organization. I'm not exactly sure, but
It's called. Mhm.
is it it's a nonprofit?
It is a 501(c) nonprofit organization. It's called Never Alone Again Domestic Violence Organization and Resource Center. We started off as a domestic violence organization because, from my experience, and we saw the need. And we found that not only victims and survivors would come to the organization, people would just come in just because they had a need. And we also added on the resource center because we wanted to help families in need, anyone that had a need or in crisis, whatever way we can provide services, programs, resources, support groups, empowerment workshops, community outreach. We're doing that.
No, okay. Talk to me about the different services because like first of all, I can very well see that you provide such incredible emotional support for these women who are
Right.
actually really very very scared, right?
Right.
So talk to me about the different levels of services that you provide and what resources are available for women who are going through abuse.
Well, what resources are available at Never Alone? Again, one, we have a support group. We also have one-on-one support group. We have empowerment workshops. We have um, a place where you can come and just, if you're in crisis, to get help. We have a 24-hour hotline. We also are in the process of, we have a safe haven called There's a Place for Us that we're raising funds for to get a woman in or her family into immediate shelter, or a place just um, to think. You know how when you're going through abuse and you just want to get away for a minute and know what to talk to someone and have a listening ear to think out the process of what I'm going to do, what I need to do, know about a safety plan, an escape plan, and what are the steps to take that. We have a workforce, a career um, group where we talk about getting back into the workforce. We have parenting classes. We have teen dating violence workshops. What else do we have? We have baby shower project. We have the Heal My Soul project. We also have now every Saturday we have a community outreach where we provide food, Pampers, and other essential items for, I would say, families in need, but now there's everybody that has a need because, due to this pandemic, we're in this together, and there are a lot of people that lost their jobs and don't have the financial means to provide food. And I had a woman come to me and say, Miss Johnston, you don't know how this has blessed my family and also kind of stopped the abuse in the house because the husband, didn't have the stop working and there was no income coming in. So he's stressing out and, is going back and forth with the words, and the children are witnessing the abuse and this and that. But she said since they've been getting food in the house and Pampers and things like that, it has slowed down the abuse a little.
You know, I have another podcast called The D Word, and I actually co-host this with a divorce, family law, and international law attorney,
Mm-hmm.
Carolina Denhard. She is actually based in Central Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we spoke about, like even just a few months ago, is that the sudden rise of domestic violence cases during the pandemic. So here you are now trapped in a home during quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
during lockdown, and you cannot escape your abuser. What
Right.
can they do? How, I mean, how are you able to help them?
Well, how I'm able to help them, unless they do that cry for help, I just let that woman know that you're strong, even though you're going through this. You're isolated in the house with your abuser, and you feel that you're alone in this, but you're not alone, and help is available. And when you're ready to come forward or you're ready to make that move to leave, just know that you can leave, and there are space shelters available, there are resources available, and there is help available. A lot of women families are afraid because they feel, oh, if they go into a shelter, there's COVID, this and that. There are safety protocols that's out there to get you where you need. If it may not be in a shelter, it may be another safe place to go to, but there is help available.
No, I'm wondering if, say, for example, if you're in a home trapped with your abuser,
Mm-hmm.
is there any special codes that they can use, special methods where they can basically alert you that they're being abused?
Well, yes, yes, there is. Good question. When I talk about developing a safety plan, one of the things I talk about is having, telling a family member or um, someone, a friend, about a code word, or tell the kids. Tell the kids, if I say ice cream, that means run to the neighbor's house and tell them to call the police and
Mm,
everything. So, the abuser won't know that, you're going to get help, you're in danger and everything. Or if you call the police department, and I think I heard this where the person was acting as if they were ordering pizza, and the person caught on. They were like, I want to order a pizza, but they're calling the police department and they're saying their address and everything, which is a call for help. I'm in danger. Send someone. It was also a program that was where you put a black dot in your hand. Let's say something happened in the house with the abuser, and he broke your arm, and you go to the hospital and you don't want to tell the medical staff or the doctor what's going on, but I'm quite sure they know the signs. And if you just hold up your hand and you have that black dot they should know that once again you're being abused, and to take you, get help, remove you from the abuser, and call the cops, do whatever it may to get them out, away from you.
yeah. I mean, and that's really phenomenal. Having experienced your absolutely beautiful heart. That's why I was actually referring to you as an
Thank
angel on earth,
you.
because I remember in one of our fundraisers, was that Thanksgiving, it was something like that, but you basically provided food for
Yeah.
everyone. We got there together, and
Yes.
everybody felt like they have a family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really wonderful because everybody understands that you're going through tough times, and everybody's just being there, being very supportive. And
Mm-hmm.
also I remember even and we actually have really fun events. We have
Yes.
karaoke.
Karaoke, you and Christine. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I still have pictures of those because the whole point is that it's very important for people to know that there are people like you, like us,
Hmm.
that they can
Yes.
turn to.
Hmm.
One of the things that I'm actually really very passionate about is that my zone of genius is resilience. And
Yes.
oftentimes people go through adversities in life. They want to start over, but they do not know how, because it
Hmm.
starts with the mind, because they already have that belief, maybe just like you even mentioned. Oftentimes they feel like they don't deserve it, they
Hmm.
don't deserve a better life, that maybe that's all, the self esteem is down the tubes, and so their belief system is basically based on themselves as being victims, and that there's no other way but to just remain where they are. But
Hmm.
no, and you have given so many people with hope, and
Hmm.
also the pathway that they can begin to create a new life and a
Yes.
new career. I
Hmm.
remember you even have like makeup people to help them, with the, obviously the image to beautify.
Yes.
So that,
Hmm.
and wasn't there also a time that for prom you were giving gowns to
Yes.
people? Look at all, I have never forgotten all the incredible things that you do, because you
Yes.
do not only help the mothers who are going through that domestic abuse, but you understand that the children are also affected,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so you support not just the actual victim himself, but actually the whole family is victimized. Just the emotional and psychological scars that goes
Hmm.
through this. and
Yes.
um and I'd love to know, let's take this also as an opportunity for people to donate. um,
Hmm.
if they would like to donate in cash or in kind or food that can help these families who are going through hardships right now, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can go one to the website, neveraloneagain.org. And like I mentioned, we are a 501(c), so anything that's donated is, of course, tax deductible. Whether it's, of course, we definitely need monetary donations. Like I mentioned, not only are we feeding, yesterday we had a big outreach. We feed over 100 and some families a week, every Saturday. And our funds, we call for help. We reach out to local food banks. We reach out to churches. We reach out social media. We partner with Frontline Food, where they provide meals to go when they can. When we had the storm a couple of weeks ago, where a lot of the families that lives locally and up the street or a couple of blocks up or in other towns where they lost electricity and they weren't able to cook food. So we tried to reach out. We reached out to Frontline Food and they say, yes, they can reach out to a restaurant. And I believe it was Burger I Am in Clark, New Jersey, donated 200 hamburgers. And we had a doctor, Madonna, she's a pediatrician in Whitecroft. She donated 60 chickens, rotisserie chickens, and just cut it in half. And we were able to feed the families, like I mentioned, that didn't have electricity, besides the food, the regular food, and the Pampers and the baby wipes and all that other stuff. Like I mentioned, go on the website. It has all the links of whether you want to do a Cash App, PayPal, uh, uh, mail a check, whatever way donations is definitely accepted.
Wow. Now, Teresa, uh,
Mhm,
your story is compelling. It's very inspirational.
mhm,
When you meet people who are going through that abuse, what would you tell them? You know, if they're scared, they feel that, of course, most of them are like too afraid to leave their abuser because
mhm.
they do not have either the skills nor the jobs, you know, and also they don't have the right mindset and
Right.
the confidence to face the world. What
Mhm,
would you tell if somebody is listening right now,
mhm.
wants to be able to embrace new possibilities? What
Right.
would you advise?
My advice is one, that you're not alone in what you're going through. There is help available. And when I'm talking with someone, that I was there at one time, so I know what you're going through. I know it's hard, like you said, to think, to rationalize. It's so much going on where, you just want to you want help, but you don't know how to get help. And help is available. Yes, reach out to Never Alone Again. There's also a 1-800 National Domestic Violence hotline. I believe is 1-800. Hold on, let me get that number right. 1-800-799-7233, which is the last word spell out safe. Um, just
Can we repeat that number?
Okay, it's 1-800-799-7233.
Okay. I,
Okay, that's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Um,
I'm also very curious, Teresa.
mhm.
Okay. Now, say for example, they were able to escape the home that they were in. How do they remain safe? Like, what if the abuser comes after them?
Well, one, there's a thing called a temporary restraining order. They have to go to the police department. They have to sit there. If the police say, it, they try to turn them away, which I hope that they don't. They normally have a domestic violence response team available that can talk to them and let them know what resources are available or tools available for them. And a restraining order should be, offered to them if they're willing to want to press charges. Um, I have a restraining order. I have a permanent restraining order where I'm not lifting that, even though I'm, out of the relationships, but you never know.
It will
Protect.
give you more peace of mind,
Right.
right?
Of course, it's like peace of mind and everything. And just know that if you're going through that, call a shelter. You can also call your local shelter. and everything. Or you can, in New Jersey, there's a 211 hotline, and you just let them know if it's imminent danger, you call 911. But if it's you need to get in the shelter, you call 211, and they will um, provide you with the local shelters in your county or in your area where you can call and get help.
Well, for those people that do not have money, and maybe they were married to their abuser and want a divorce, and but they don't have money for legal fees, how are they able to navigate that?
Again, there are resources and there are agencies that can provide that resource to them or refer them to lawyers that do work pro bono, legal services, immigration services that basically know about, the information or how to help a person that's going through domestic violence or trying to escape or try to get the child support, the alimony, all of that, or try to get the legal status and all of that. Yes.
So tell me, what are your upcoming events or
Ooh.
fundraisers? Is there? I mean, with everything going virtual now,
Uh-huh.
we'd like to be able to participate. As a matter of fact, I'd like to be able to provide motivational
Of
talk
course.
with your
Yes.
with your with your how do you call your family at Never Alone Again.
Yes.
Because
Yes. Yes.
sometimes it you need to hear from some I have a whole different story, but either way, the whole idea there is that we need to be resilient so we
Hmm.
can put the past behind us and
Right.
actually begin to step into our new possibilities.
Right.
I
Right.
want to be able to get that talk, and possibly even with I know everything is going has gone virtual now, just
Hmm.
being able to do phone interviews
Right.
virtually. How do you,
Virtual.
I could even provide some training or seminar on how they can interview virtually and
Mhm.
actually make a good impression. I'd love to be
Mhm.
able to share that with your family there,
Thank
because
you.
like, you're doing such a great thing. So
Thank you.
any upcoming event, virtual or live?
Well, first, like I mentioned, every weekend, every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1:30, or as supply lasts, we have our community outreach event providing food and Pampers and baby items to
So this
families.
is live event.
Live. This is this. Okay, that's basically a curbside event. Far as our next event, we have what we have going up. I think in a couple of weeks we have the back to school drive, where donations of back to school. We're trying to do something in October. As you know, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it's also celebrating our 11th year anniversary of Never
Oh,
Alone Again. Um, I don't know how it's going to be and everything. We're going to want to put something together where we're empowering women. And I would love for you to be a guest in whatever
oh.
way we do this.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
everything
because
is,
I'd love to be able to take part of it, like, invite people to participate, donate,
yes,
either services, money or
yes,
kind, because you need so much support. Because how
yes.
you like, just think about it, just the food. A lot of people actually would like to help,
Mm-hmm,
but they don't know how where to send it to.
mm-hmm.
You could like I know there's people have enough masks now, and so what we need are actually food, right? Like,
Right.
for kids, the Pampers and the school
Mm-hmm,
supplies, and
mm-hmm,
even most of it, especially money to be able to get through this
mm-hmm.
tough time. Um,
Yes.
it's not easy because a lot of people are hurting right now, but in
Mm-hmm.
any way, shape, or form, if you're a little bit more blessed than the others,
Yes.
give a little,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
as I've said, like, if you still have your roof over your head,
Yes.
let's all be grateful for that. I would love for you to send the link. And so just before we close, I'd like for you to just repeat, how can they make donations to Never Alone Again Domestic Violence Resource Center? Did I say
Okay.
that?
Domestic Violence Organization and Research
Organization and
Center. It's
Resource Center.
okay. No, 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 no. What they can do is go to www.neveraloneagain.org, and it has all the buttons that you can basically donate to. And like I mentioned, our next need is shelter. and we do have a promising location. We just need to raise the funds, and you'll see it on the website. It's called There's a Place for Us. It is a shelter to house women and kids, basically that are homeless, or I wouldn't say in imminent danger of domestic violence, but are leaving domestic violence situation and don't have a place to go.
Now that I'm talking, that we're talking about this, I'm thinking of a person that I actually interviewed at the D Word maybe a month or so ago. Her name is Arlene Warwick, and
Okay,
she actually specializes in corporate sponsorships. She
nice.
was saying that if, say, for example, somebody like me who'd like to be able to, say, do something for Never Alone Again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, on behalf of the corporate sponsor,
Yes,
they're able to do something, and then I will be the one delivering
yes,
the whatever, the goods, the money, and all that, but also being able to amplify their brand.
brand, right?
So, let me think about that, because I
Yes,
would say, like, I'd love to be able to help the best way I can, because
yes.
you're doing something really, truly, truly phenomenal.
Thank
Any last words, Teresa, that could empower somebody out there who may be finding the hope now to actually move forward?
Right. Well, my last words is that know that you're not alone in what you're going through. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it with the help of God, with the help of loving you, with the help of a support system. You can do it, and know that you're not alone in what you're going through, and it's not your fault, and never be ashamed.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Never be ashamed. I have my own favorite quote. Actually, it's mine. It's, pain is global, hope is universal, resilience ignites solution.
Yes.
So choose to be resilient. You are not what happened to you. You are
There
what
we
you
are.
to
Chose.
become.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so there's a huge possibility that's
Mm-hmm.
in there. And you have people like Teresa and Never Alone Again organization that's committed to lifting people who are in places of darkness right now, who are going through domestic violence. And you can put an end to that pattern and
Yes.
embrace your new possibility.
Yes.
All right, Teresa, it was such a pleasure. We
Thank
need to
you.
continue talking some more and see how we can continue to empower each other and each
Yes.
other's causes, and
Yes.
see how we can begin to make a very big impact in the lives of others.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
this is
you.
Pearly Almonte. Until then, choose to be resilient.
Yes.
Remember, you are not alone in what you're going through.
Yes.
Help is out there. You just need to open your heart and your mind to receiving it.
Yes.
Until then, bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you.